Tom Petty and Bob Dylan, pillars of American music, first crossed paths in the late 1970s, forging a bond that would flourish over the decades. Their storied careers and collective moments could inspire countless tales, yet what we present here is but a charming snapshot of their intertwined musical legacy. Consider this just a quick and fun intro to their shared beats and rhythms, and dive in with me as we revisit some of those golden moments. Tom Petty, with his band The Heartbreakers and as a solo artist, gave us some of the most memorable rock songs of the late 20th century. Tracks like Free Falling, American Girl, and I Won't Back Down have become anthems of resilience, love, and spirit. Petty's songwriting was straightforward yet profound. His melodies were infectious, and his voice had a unique texture that made his songs instantly recognizable. He was an artist who epitomized the rock and roll spirit with a mix of Southern charm. Tom Petty's voice is distinct and instantly recognizable. He possessed a raw, unpolished quality that perfectly fit his brand of heartland rock. His voice carried a certain authenticity and emotion, making his songs resonate with a wide audience. Whether he was singing a ballad or a rock anthem, Petty's vocals were a blend of vulnerability and strength. Bob Dylan, on the other hand, is often regarded as one of the most influential songwriters in the history of modern music. With songs like Blowin' in the Wind, Like a Rolling Stone, and The Times They Are A-Changin', Dylan addressed societal issues, asked deep philosophical questions, and tapped into the zeitgeist of the times. He has been a poet, a storyteller, a social critic, and a voice of a generation. Dylan's ability to reinvent himself, coupled with his profound lyrics, has earned him the Nobel Prize in Literature, further solidifying his status as a monumental figure in the world of art. Bob Dylan's voice, much like his songwriting, is unique and often polarizing. He doesn't have a traditionally beautiful singing voice. Instead, it's rough, raspy, and nasal. However, what Dylan might lack in melodic finesse, he more than makes up for with expressiveness and phrasing. He has an unparalleled ability to convey emotion, tell a story, and draw listeners into the world he's painting with his words. Over the years, his voice has evolved, becoming even more gravelly, yet it remains deeply evocative. Tom Petty and Bob Dylan indeed crossed paths many times throughout their careers, most notably during their time together in the supergroup The Traveling Wilburys and when Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers backed Dylan on his True Confessions tour. The Traveling Wilburys was a supergroup that consisted of Bob Dylan, Tom Petty, George Harrison, Roy Orbison, and Jeff Lynne. While the group was together, they released 2 albums, and several tracks featured both Dylan and Petty on vocals. A couple of notable songs from the Wilburys where you can hear both of them include End of the Line features verses sung by different members, including both Dylan and Petty. And She's My Baby, which was the first single off the group's 3rd album, Traveling Wilburys Volume 3. In 1986, Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers served as the backing band for Bob Dylan's True Confessions tour. During this tour, audiences were treated to performances that combined the strengths of both artists. While they performed many songs from each of their catalogs, it was a special treat to hear them both singing on classics like a Rolling Stone. Collaborations like these underline the mutual respect and camaraderie between the two artists. Both artists have made immense contributions to music and have shaped the soundtrack of several generations. While Petty's music resonates with the heart, giving listeners anthems of hope, defiance, and love, Dylan's music touches the soul, making people ponder life's deeper meanings and the world around them. If we're discussing pure vocal prowess in terms of range, tone, and versatility, Tom Petty might have a slight edge. His voice is more traditionally melodic and can be more accessible to a broader audience. However, if we're talking about uniqueness, emotional depth, and the ability to convey complex narratives with voice alone, Bob Dylan is unparalleled. So, while Tom Petty might be seen as the better vocalist in a traditional sense, Bob Dylan's voice carries an emotional weight and distinctive quality that few can match. It ultimately boils down to individual preferences and what one values more in a vocalist. This video is by no means meant to put down either artists, as I think they are both outstanding in their own right, and I've always felt it was kind of interesting how they shared a similar style, in some ways. At least, it sounds that way to me. Let me know what you think. Cheers!